Okay, so I am here today with Kolbie Willis, and we are here to interview her for her program, which is the CAD program, and you are working to get your certificate. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. I'm excited to be here.
That is awesome. We're excited to have you. So the CAD program is the Computer Aided Design Program, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that program. I don't know too much about it, so I'm super excited to meet with you today and hear all about it. So tell me about the program a little bit.
It's mostly just like learning design programs to draw on the computer to help like create things like houses or machine parts for cars. You do the diagrams of them and you can turn them from 2D to 3D, and then from there you can go and actually create the real life model. They're just kind of like guidelines and um how to explain it. It's like building the item, but in like drawing form. That's
Okay.
pretty yeah.
Okay. So what prompted you to go into into this specific program with Charter College?
Well, in high school, I used to do graphic design, which is one of my main goals to do still. But when my college admissions told me about the program, I was like, that actually sounds more of something I would want to do. And it does include programs that are related to graphic design, because you're still doing the drawing and the art and the all that. And the programs that we use are actually programs that they want for graphic designers, but like they're not the immediate programs. They're like bonus programs for graphic designers. So it's kind of like taking all these courses and learning the programs will set me above a normal graphic design applicant at work at careers.
That's really neat. That's
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah. So how did you apply with Charter College, or how did you get involved with Charter College? Tell me about what led you to enroll at Charter.
My mom's girlfriend actually went for a semester or a program, and then she got my mom to do it, and then my mom recommended me, and so then Thomas called me, the admissions person called me and was like, hey, you've been recommended. And then he told me like all the programs, and I told him like my interest, and he was like, we have a program specifically for that, like, would you like to join? And I had been thinking about going back to college for a while. And then when he called, it was like 8 o'clock at night when he called here. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, that actually sounds like an amazing opportunity. I would absolutely love to. And so actually, it's really cool. My mom is going to school right now, and we both started at the exact same time. So it's just kind of like a fun little family going to school together type of thing.
That is so cool. And from what I understand is like you live in a whole different state than your mom does, right?
Yes, I moved here a year ago, and then like a couple months after that, after we moved, I got the call and was asked if I wanted to kind of do the program, and I was like, yeah, sure. So it's pretty much as soon as I got here, it was like, would you like to do it? Let's go, let's do it. So yeah, my mom lives in California still, and I moved to Oklahoma.
Oh my goodness. So do you guys connect and talk about your programs? I know you guys are doing two different programs. So do you guys just kind of talk about schooling and what that looks like on the phone, or do you guys do like FaceTime together? What does that look like? How do you guys communicate being so far away from one another?
We video chat, and then we also just text each other updates and stuff about how we're doing. Like kind of at the end of the week, we're like, hey, we're doing this good. We're, got A's or B's or whatever. And then at the end of each mod, we tell each other how we did and, what our next classes are and, all that. So we kind of video chat, and then we text as well.
That's really cool. I like that. Like just being able to like kind of recap on what you guys have done or what's upcoming, and, you know, kind of building excitement for one another.
Exactly.
Yeah. What have you enjoyed the most about attending the CAD program at Charter College?
Um, the fact that it's online is really awesome because I can do my homework and go to work and stay home, and I like staying home. But my favorite program in the field was SketchUp, and that was a really cool program to learn about because I hadn't known anything about SketchUp before I started. I hadn't known any of these programs before I started, but SketchUp was my favorite because you got to build like models and like actually build the 3D buildings, or build like a 3D. I built a 3D hinge at one point. It was so cool just to like get them put together and see how it works. And it was like actually operable. You could open and close it. It was just so cool.
It's really cool. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize you could do so much with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fantastic. So with the program that you're in, and it's being an online program, and, you know, you're learning at home, you know, and it's great that it's a flexible opportunity, you know, for those that, you know, do work full time, and, you know, they have to be able to work around their work schedule and
Mm-hmm.
family life and what have you. Have you, you know, has it worked well for you, you know, in terms of like being able to connect with your instructors or academic advisors? Like, how does that support system work?
Uh, it works pretty well. Sometimes it's a little hard to be able to get in contact with your teachers because we both have different time zones, or we're in different, you know, time periods, or he's not available when I'm available, or vice versa. It's definitely a little bit harder to be able to connect with them, but it does eventually happen to where we can set up the appointment to where we both have time, or we can both take time out of our day to discuss what's going on in the class and how we can get through it, and whether I have questions or not about the programs. And then being able for him to be able to see my screen as well helps, because then he can see what I'm doing and then see about where I'm messing up or what I'm doing wrong, or, you know, vice versa, and whatever, you know. So
So you're able to kind of share your screen and kind of walk through things with one another and set up kind of like office time where you guys connect.
exactly.
That's good. That's helpful. I think it's difficult sometimes if you don't have the option to share screens and know what's going on and look at something, and just being able to try to describe something might be a little bit harder if you can't share those
Yeah,
screens and connect.
exactly. It makes it harder to see exactly where the person is and where they messed up, because if you can see the line of work they're doing, you can see where exactly they messed up and where they can fix it to go back and get it correct.
Yeah. And technology just keeps advancing and advancing. And I think through the pandemic, it did, you know, people are connecting so much more via technology, kind of like you and your mom with, you know, FaceTime or Duo, or all the different, you know, options
Hmm.
that are out there now, and how so many different people are using those options more and more.
Yeah.
So if you could give a shout out to anyone, whether it be an instructor or a support member that, you know, that have been just being your cheerleader throughout your program, you know, who would you like to shout out today?
I've been a couple of people on my road through this. Thomas, my admissions advisor, he's been the one to keep up with me mostly throughout this. So shout out to him. He's awesome. He's helped my mom and me out, and he's been very invested with us, thankfully. And then I've had a few professors, my last two from last mod, Martin Adea and Amira Madid. I had them for quite a few classes this time around, or this course, and they were just great instructors, helped me through everything. Amir would get on video conferences with me at least once a week to go over questions I had, or, you know, get things done and help me through what I needed help with. And then Martin would just, he answers like almost immediately as soon as I message him for any questions, and he's really been there to help me out.
That's great. I love to be able to hear that, our students have the support that they need, and those cheerleaders that have the pom poms in their hands that are just applauding our students throughout the program. So shout out to those individuals that have helped you and supported you throughout the way. And I haven't had the opportunity to meet all of our instructors, but I definitely have engaged with Thomas Walsh, and he's a fantastic individual that really goes the extra mile for our students through the admissions process and even throughout their academics. It's not just, enrolling a student, but it's really following up with them and engaging with them and encouraging them. So I think he does a really great job with that. So I love hearing that, Kolbie.
He's been a real big support. He's even been able to get in touch with my boyfriend and chat with him about things. So it really makes it easier when he can get in touch with everybody.
Yeah, it's building those connections and those relationships that really makes an impact on someone's life.
Exactly.
So I know that you are finishing up this program. You're in your last mod or your last 5 weeks of this class, this program. What's in store next?
Well, we are setting the date for our certification exam, which for now is Friday, September 16th, so 2 weeks from now. So that's really exciting. I feel like I'm ready for it, but I'm also kind of nervous for that. But after that, I am starting on Monday, the 19th, my next course of college here at Charter, and that is an associate's in applied technologies. And it's more like for project managements and stuff like that. So I'll have all of that, and that'll be another 5 months added on. And then I'll also graduate with my mother that time. She graduates when I graduate from my associates. So that's really cool.
That is awesome. So, how neat is that? So you're going to finish up this program, you're going to take your certification, you're going to kill it. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. And then you're going to do your associate's degree, and mom and you are going to be graduating roughly the same time. So are you guys going to connect and do graduation together, attend a graduation ceremony?
I would like to try, but I work a very minimum wage job, so I don't think all my money goes to my bills. So I don't know if I'd be able to make one, but we'll probably do a virtual graduation party ceremony, just her and I and whatever. I don't know when her girlfriend graduates, if she graduates the same time, but yeah, we'll probably just do something virtual because, like I said, I don't have very much money, so I don't know if I'd be able to get down to California or vice versa.
Right, you being in Oklahoma and what have you, but definitely doing something virtual and connecting, and get a cake and celebrate and toast, with some bubbly or something, and just just support one another with that. That is so neat. So where would you like to see yourself once you complete your associate's degree? What are you ultimately wanting to do?
I want to get into an office that uses the CAD programs, preferably, more of a graphic design office so that I can get into that and, start on that. But any type of CAD design office work, even if it's architecture or anything, I just want to get into the field because the first thing I got to do is get the experience under my belt. Right now, all I have is college experience, and that doesn't always hold up. I've only got 10 months of experience with the programs right now. So most places want at least a year, and then they also want the associates to go with it. So I've got to get through all of that, and then hopefully once I have enough experience, I can apply to maybe a larger company and, really get my career off the ground with this.
Yeah, well, it definitely sounds like you have a plan and you have kind of your head on your shoulders and understanding, what employers are looking for, which I think is very important, to understand all of that. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, doing my research. The good thing about where I live kind of in the middle of nowhere of Oklahoma. I'm the closest big town to me would be Fort Smith, Arkansas. So I am very far away from anywhere that has companies or anything like that. So I have remote work going for me, which means I can pretty much apply to anywhere in the United States that is looking for remote, and I can still work for them. So I could apply to something in California and still be in Oklahoma working. So that's kind of a neat job opportunity. And that's what I would like. I'd like to be able to stay home and take care of my house and still work. And then I also have a problem with driving, so I don't really like driving very much. So remote work would also help with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, living somewhere where, there's not a lot of, companies or organizations, remote work is ideal. And I think more and more organizations are leaning towards or open to the idea of remote workers. I mean, I think just with the shift in mindset in the last couple of years with the global pandemic, that's kind of
Yep.
just the way that things have morphed, and companies are adapting to that. And so I think that'll definitely be an opportunity for you, Kolbie.
Yeah.
So how has your decision, to further your education impacted you? And you were saying your boyfriend, how has it positively affected you guys?
Well, just the prospect of a better career. Because like I said, I work at Subway and I only make $7.75 an hour, and I only work like 3 to 4 hours a day because that's all they have for me. So I'm really not making much. And then the fact that once I get this certificate and I can start working and it can be remote, it'll lift the burden of, all of our bills off of our shoulders, because my boyfriend is also going to be starting a new job in January. He's going to be working for the Kansas Railroad Station. So having him do that and then me having a better job, it'll just further our agenda of being together, of just creating a family and not having to worry about, oh, are we going to be able to have food on our table, or are we going to be able to pay this bill, or we're going to have our electricity tomorrow. It's just kind of this. My whole goal for this is to get a better career so that once I'm ready, we can have kids if we have decided to do that, or we can go on a quick trip. We can't even go an hour away at this point because we just don't even have the money for gas or to even go anywhere. And that's kind of our ultimate goal, is to not have to worry about money at all in any situation. So this has positively affected us by giving us the opportunity to get ourselves out of being so, poor and not having enough money and living paycheck to paycheck. So just that thought gets us through everything.
I love that. Just having that positive mind frame and thinking forward to the future and knowing that the end result will be, successful and positive, and, remaining uplifting and continuously thinking for the future and how that's going to benefit you. So kudos to you there, Kolbie.
Thank you.
What would you tell someone, if they were considering continuing their education, whether it's charter college or anywhere else? What advice would you give someone?
Really think about it. Like, look at all the pros and cons, look at the salary differences and what you are currently working and what you could be working, because that'll really change it. That was one of the biggest things for me going and getting my associates, is that there is a huge difference between just the CAD and then the associates that would earn me. And then also think about your mental health. How would could you work online properly, or how would it affect you personally when you're going? Just really think about yourself. This is a decision for you. Yes, you should ask your family or your boyfriend or anything, but I must say, when I signed up for the CAD program, I did not ask my boyfriend. I just went for it. I was like, he got home that night and I was like, I'm going to college. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm going to college. I've already signed up, signed the paperwork. We're already done.
You said, I'm doing it. Like, this is happening. So
I did. I full on was like, I'm doing it. like, it's not even a choice. I've already signed up. So this is something you have to do for yourself. It's not something that you should let other people decide for you, because if you let other people decide, then you might not be happy with the decision you've made. You know, even like with the associate going back, I did ask my boyfriend this time, and his advice was, if you think you can do it, do it. If you don't, then don't. If you don't think you need it, don't do it. If you do feel like it could help, do it. So
That was good advice. I think that was, smart on his part. At the end of the day, like you said, you're doing it for you. You might be doing it for, to better the both of you, or if if you have kiddos or parents. But I mean, ultimately, it, like you said, it's your mental health, it's your, well-being. And so you've got to make that choice for yourself. So I think he gave you some really good advice of, if you think you can do it, you feel like you need it, then ultimately it's your decision there. So good job there, boyfriend. Is there any advice or anything else that you would like to let those listening or those watching that we share this with, that you would like to say or give them before we kind of end this or conclude this interview today?
Not really, just, keep up with it. And like I said, if you need a break, take a break. You can always talk to your instructors about anything that, if you're having a hard week, or, you get something in, they're pretty flexible. Like with some quizzes, I've talked to the teachers about it, and they were flexible about that. And then just, make sure to take time for yourself. Don't let you get overwhelmed with your job, your kids, your family, and school. You think you need a little break, take the break. Because ultimately, if you can't do the work, and you can't get your mind to do the work, then it's not going to get done. So breaks are necessary. Definitely.
Yeah, good advice. So, to kind of piggyback on that, what did you do to take a break? What was your way to kind of relax or calm after studying for umpteen hours at the end of the week or what have you? What was kind of your way to just kind of take that deep breath or that step away?
Well, if I ended up having to work late into the weekend, I would take Mondays off and just kind of lay around, or go to work if I needed to, but lay around and just kind of let my brain not work, if that makes any sense. Turn it off completely. That way I had at least a day, and then I would get back up on Tuesday and get onto it. But the best thing to do is on Mondays and Tuesdays is to get most of your written assignments done. If you're doing modeling assignments, that's better to do in the later part of the week. If you get all your written assignments done at the beginning of the week, then you don't have to worry about any of those. All you have to do is design. And that is a freeing experience for sure. I love design. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but definitely turn it off for a day. If you need to just, lay down and relax for an entire day, it's totally okay to just do nothing at some point.
Good advice. Yeah, definitely sometimes, you have to binge watch the Netflix or, take a bubble bath or walk the dog, but it's really just letting your mind just kind of relax and wander and not, overthink about the book work and the school work and, just kind of let that massage that brain for a little bit before you get back into it. So I completely understand that.
Yeah. And with written assignments, more often you're probably overthinking what you need to be doing. I know for me, that was a fact. I would overthink the written assignments, and then it would take me too long to do it. And then I'd be like, that was a lot easier. Why was that seem so hard? It was so easy just now. What the heck? So just try not to overthink. What it says is what it says. And if you do have a question, always ask your professors. Always message them. They're always happy to help. And yeah, just try not to overthink your written assignments. That is going to be your biggest hurdle for sure.
I love that. Well, I am excited for you. I'm excited for you to finish up this program and start your next one. And I would love to be able to follow up with you once you complete your associate's degree and see how things are doing, if that would be okay, Kolbie.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to.
It's been an absolute pleasure meeting with you today, and I think that, the sky's the limit for you, and you're going to go far, and can't wait to see what you accomplish.
Thank you. I'm excited too.